My name is Rod Van Blake, author of the Ancient Illumination series as well as the Yumbani Chronicles, and I'm joined once again by Andrea Rose Washington.
Hello.
She's the author of Adlithia, Elendil, and Almond Trees Magic. We are also joined by Jordan Purnell Jackson.
Hey, everybody.
He's the creator of Eve of Resurrection, Eve of Reclamation, Growing in the Garden, and he's also illustrated on the Ancient Illumination graphic novels as well as the Yumbani Chronicle series comic books. We are also joined by Jocelyn Short.
Hello.
She is a concept artist and illustrator, creator of a comic series soon to come out called The Bearers, and we are all still looking forward to that. So if you're interested in any of our creative endeavors, there will be links to all of our websites in the description of this podcast where we release the audio to Spotify for podcasters. Today, we are talking about Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Spoiler alert for any of you who have not watched at least up into episodes 6 and 7, because that's what we're discussing today. Here's my brief I'll start a little breakdown and we'll each discuss our opinions. Like I said, spoilers. We start off in the 1955 summer ball, Bali High. So we get to see Keiko and Captain Shaw hobnobbing with the military brass. And I gotta say, looking at this episode, I'm gonna need Mari to come and see who the real father of Hiroshi is, because we get a little bit of chemistry between Shaw and Keiko, and I'm like, my boy Bill may not be the father. I don't know. What do y'all think?
I was contemplating this the entire series, but I'm like, I have a feeling Keiko got herself a Japanese.
I don't want it to be Shaw.
I understand.
Like, regardless, because like we know what like Bill's last name is, so we know like who claims him.
Yeah.
But no matter what, but like I could literally take it being like a one night stand over it being Shaw. Like, just that man.
Yeah.
Every little piece of love and appreciation and like trying to understand this guy for the first 5 episodes went out the window in episode 6. So like, just please not him.
Yeah, I found it ironic that he kind of, because they're at this military ball. She's obviously, it's not her crowd. And she's like, I don't know why we're here. And he's like, we just got to smile and shake hands and say thank you to those that are footing the bill. And then they get to talking that old boy, that good old boys network. You got one of the good ones, and she
good Japanese one,
gets mad about that. And it's like, I understandably so, because I always hate when somebody says that. Like, don't worry about it. He's one of the good ones. Like, what did you mean by that?
One of the good ones.
You know what you meant. We all know what they meant by it. We just, Keiko looked at him like, oh.
We've all had that said to us, and we've all looked at them like,
one of the good ones.
I'm not about to be in 2 seconds.
Yeah. The irony I find in that is that he is cut pretty much, Shaw is, from the same cloth, but he's now calling them the old-fashioned ones. When we saw their first interaction on the pier, when he went to pick her up and couldn't recognize that she was a Japanese woman doctor and not the daughter of the doctor. Oh, it must be a mistake. I'm looking for your dad. He couldn't fathom it being a woman at the time. And now he's, I guess, trying to let her know that these are the old-fashioned ones.
I watched a change in you.
What?
Jocelyn, what? You mean, yes.
Where is that from?
Because she's changing his mind. She's changing.
Yeah, he's not one of those white guys anymore. He's progressive.
He's changing his mind regarding her specifically.
Yeah,
I don't feel like she's changing his mind towards her race.
Oh, man, I was trying to be optimistic here. I don't. Really trying to... Dang, come on, don't say that.
For her, if this was like platonic, if it was like Bill was the guy who was Japanese and like his opinions started changing and like it was purely platonic, I would definitely be like, okay, then maybe he's changing. But like, sadly, it's because I think he's attracted to her and he likes her.
Oh yeah,
like he still treats Bill like crap. So I feel like if this was a male scientist acting the way and like it was, and the male scientist was Japanese, and he acted like Bill, I don't think his opinion would have changed.
Yeah.
I think it's because he's attracted to her, is treating her differently.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he was putting his game on when he told her she was a force of nature.
Is that a compliment? How do you feel about that, lady?
He's like, yo, you was a force of nature. That's what you do.
Yeah, that was kind of wild. How do y'all feel about if a man called you a force of nature? Andrea, Jocelyn? Whoever.
I mean, I think it depends on the context. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
no, but she's right, because if some random guy comes off the street and is like, "Oh, girl, you a force of nature. I see you out here."
Like, I'm sorry, at the gas station talking about, "Oh, girl, you a force of nature, girl." Well,
but like, if it comes from a respectful place, and like you're actually giving me like true God honest praise, then that's like
the things
different.
I've
but
done.
If you're like just saying it to be like, "Oh, I'm giving her props so she will like lower her defenses," no, go away. We can tell the difference. Go away.
Yeah.
And I think it's got to be sincere.
Yeah.
And if it's just about, if he's just complimenting her determination, basically saying you're going to get what you want, regardless of all these circumstances and things that they're counting against you, then I think it's good. But like Andrea said, if you're just trying to shoot your shot, basically.
Get her to go upstairs to the hotel room.
Right. Okay. But listen, when he said it though, I saw her, like we saw her face.
Yeah.
You saw the head tilt. You saw the head tilt.
Happened. Okay. As he said that, like it was working. So,
so mad.
It was working.
Yeah. If it wasn't from that telegram or whatever from Bill and the emergency anomaly that he found, it was about to be a wrap.
In the world of Shaw, be a Bill.
Yeah. And then
we'll get to that discussion a little bit later.
Yeah. So they fast forward a little bit back to 2015 in Alaska, and you see Agent Duval goes rogue, frees Shaw, and this, I believe, is a tie-in to the 2014 Godzilla film when Shaw asked her, like, what's your deal? Like, why are you doing this? What's your story? And we find out that her sister is Sarah, who is the one that died in the power plant, the wife of the guy working. I forget the actor's name, old boy from Breaking Bad.
I just watched it again.
Yeah, his.
That was.
She said, my sister, in Gingera, in the power plant, and some of us said never again.
I didn't realize it was the sister. I didn't realize that actress was. I didn't realize the mom who died in Godzilla was her sister. Yeah. I knew it was that movie. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just thought she was someone who just worked at the plant.
Yeah, no, that was the wife, and it's
that
was a crazy tie-in. But we now know why she's doing what she's doing, sort of, because we still don't know what's going on. Then we fast forward to Monarch again in 1955 at their headquarters, where Bill lets them know about an anomaly that he found, and he didn't understand the readings. And this is kind of where their chat, I'm talking about Shaw and Keiko's chat, kind of goes against Shaw when she tells him earlier why she likes children so much. And Bill kind of indirectly gives his own little game. He's like, the most wonderful phrase in the world, I don't know. And Keiko says that's the most wonderful thing about kids is because they devour the world. They're not afraid to say that they don't know. So inadvertently, that was his way in. I don't even think he knows it at the time. But Bill can see something's weird between them two when they get back, though. Because the conversation, they're like stumbling, they're trying to cover it up, and Bill's like looking between the both of them. He's like, okay, moving on, and keeps discussing things.
It was that conversation that happened during that time that made me dislike Shaw for good.
Oh, because he's making them. That's my favorite thing about kids.
Bill saw her as an equal, Bill saw Keiko as an equal, and Shaw saw her as someone to protect. And it was like, you need to make. Bill's like, let's make the smartest decision. Divide and conquer. And Shaw was like, I can't leave you alone. I'm like, you also need this funding. And so they can go and be chill, and you can stay here. And the fact that like he was pushing back strictly for his feelings, I think that's when I was just like, look, you're not respecting her agency as a woman. You just like her. You think she should fit in this box that you put in your head.
I'm kind of on Shaw's team though, with that respect, mainly because that may not be his wheelhouse. Like he's not a brainiac. He's not the one you want representing you to try and get some funds, I don't think.
But he is, though, in this case, because he speaks their language.
Okay.
In any other sense, if this was private investors, I would definitely 100% agree with you. If this was like brainiacs and scientists and geeks all the way down, I definitely believe, not Shaw. Do not send him. So send Bill. They'll eat him up. But because this was a whole thing of military councils that both Bill and Keiko dislike completely, Shaw was their best bet. Shaw knew how to speak their language. Shaw knew how to take whatever data Randa and Keiko gave him and turn it into army speak of give us more money.
Yeah.
I think he was like, I don't think he should have been alone. One of them, if one of them had stayed, it probably would have worked out better. But like Shaw definitely had to be in that one because it was all army people. If it was private investors of like Apple tech startup people, then no, it could never have been Shaw. Never.
Yeah. So before they even get to the budget talk, they fast forward again to Frisco, and Shaw just pops up with Duvall at Kate's mom's house. And once again, this is kind of a recurring theme. The kids have no plan, no real direction, or real resources to execute. And I think at most times, it's kind of weird. It's almost like a plot device. Like they have to trust the people that they don't trust. Because if we're keeping it real, they can't do it on their own. Like if like when they were on the boat to Korea, and Shaw tells him, "All right, I'll give you everything. When we get there, what you gonna do?" And he just draws a blank, and knowing that they're looking back at him, and he's looking back at them. Obviously, like we have no plan and no way of going anywhere, and so it's kind of almost at this point they're their own MacGuffin. They're the thing they need. They need to keep others around them to search for the things they like to find their father, whatever it is. They can't do it.
Luck runs in their family, apparently, in that Randa line.
And then of course Tim and Deputy Director Verdugo easily pick up their trail and follow them via cell data. And the reason this is kind of annoying to me is because May has been on the run from how many companies. She's thrown her cell phone away. They've been given new passports and money. She should have at least been the one to be like, yo, they're keeping tabs on us. We need to ditch these things. But no, they don't.
She called them last episode.
Yeah, she revealed that she was snitching, so she knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. She called them.
She did. She called Duvall. But remember, at this point, Duvall's gone rogue. So they're under the thumb of Tim. Tim and the deputy director of Monarch are now following them because they've split off. It's now Shaw and Duvall doing their own thing, and then Tim is kind of back with the deputy director, and they're doing their thing. So they're all chasing the same circle of people, except Duvall's not the one that she talks to at this. She's with Duvall. Now in Frisco, they show up to the to mom's spot.
Well, I will say it is sort of slightly explained when Tim figures out the office, when they're in San Francisco and he figures out what they probably were looking at. Like he Columboed it, and like side note, Columbo is an amazing show. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Yeah. But when he Columbos the map that should have been on the wall. So that does sort of help figure out where they're going.
Yeah.
Not just cell stuff. The cell stuff got them to San Francisco.
To the office. That's what I'm saying.
Because during that time, no. Well, May hadn't called her yet, but we don't. Yeah, they could have been tracking the cell phone at that part, though.
Yeah. Then they flash back again to Hadaruma Island in 55, where they find the engineer who rigged up a Titan phone. I don't know how y'all felt about this part. I'm still kind of feeling like scientists, for the most part, their curiosity overrides their survival instincts, like ad nauseum.
Oh yeah, what do you mean? We have to make the discovery. That's what their mission is. Their priority is discover the giant creature.
Like, so you've seen it in real life, and like, yes, it's terrifying and majestic. And he's like, oh well, this new thing should be terrifying. And I'm like, dude, no.
I feel like I want to talk to actual scientists in general, just because I'm curious to see, because I would I would think, just as an explanation as to why so many scientists, at least in films, are so smart dumb, like uh just to see what the correlation is between their safety versus
Yeah.
discovery, because I would imagine that, like, if I was a scientist and I knew I was on the verge of like actually, some groundbreaking research or something, like, I feel like the closer I got to that research, I may have to like consciously put aside like my safety, like considering my safety. If the closer I got to actually like breaking ground, like if I was a scientist, I'd have to like ignore the survival part of me, because you put in fail safes for
Yeah.
that. But I wonder what part of a thinking process that happens, where you start discounting your safety and putting discovery
It's the
before
passion
safety.
for discovery. I get it.
In the words of Jeff Goldblum from the first Jurassic Park, you were so focused on that you never stopped to ask, should you? If you
It's
should.
yeah.
You're so
It's like
focused on
that.
if you could, you never stop to think if you should
It's like that line graph of F around and
and
find
find out.
out, like
Yeah,
how.
I mean that's
Yeah,
always what it is. Yeah,
And
that's
it's like,
really
at
what
you
it
what
is.
know.
point do you realize that even if you get said discovery, what good is the information if you can't tell it to anyone because you're dead? Like,
Because every movie where a scientist is like, oh, we made an unknown discovery, new alien species, that alien species kills us. So,
That too.
like, every single time,
yeah. So then
maybe
they
pump the brakes.
yeah, you need to pump the brakes. They flash forward again to the Algerian desert in 2015, and they're in Africa searching through this desert looking for clues of where Pops is. And find it interesting here that both May and Shaw basically manipulate Kate in tandem, and forcing her hand, she gives up the map. And then Shaw turns to May and is like, "Thanks for the help." And she she doesn't seem very appreciative. She just kind of walks off. They don't like Ken flip flops too much for me too. Where like, look, do you need the help or don't you? Because at one point he's like, "What, you mad because he got us some help?" And then later on, when it's obviously that they can't trust the people that they're with, he's like, "I'm gonna go with them. Let's use the help." I'm like, which one is it, dude? Do you not trust and want to just take the help because you're being honest about your capabilities, or do you want to be against the help because he keeps going back and forth? It's kind of weird.
Is Tim is the guy who works for Monarch?
Yeah,
Okay.
Tim is. I'm talking about Ken though, the brother, Kentaro.
But
He
useless.
Ken is playing up his younger brother role
He's
very
just
much.
that's what it
can't
He's
is.
like,
do
I'm
it.
with other adults. I can turn off my brain. It's like, you're more of an adult than I am, so you get to be the adult in the situation.
It's so fun. I feel like he's been waiting his whole life to be this person too. To like be the younger sibling, to not to think as hard.
Yeah. So yeah, as you discussed before, Andrea, they flash back again to 1955, and Shaw bails on the budget presentation to go and rescue Keiko. And the general tried to
I
tell him.
like how you said the word rescue.
General Puckett tried to tell him, like, look, we got other people you could have sent if you wanted someone to protect them. It's called the Army. We got plenty of dudes that'll go do that. Uh, he's like, it is my career. He's like, well, then don't treat it like a job and run
Yes.
things.
I have never
Mm-mm-mm.
ever said a white guy had ever gave such great advice. He should have taken that advice. That was the best advice Shaw could have ever gotten
Yeah,
in his entire life. You
he
want
was
to
telling
run
him too.
Monarch your way?
Yeah,
Do what I'm telling you to do, and you can.
yeah.
And you
Sacrifice it
threw it.
all
All you
the
had to do was sit
way.
through this,
He's like,
and
as
it
soon
would
as you
not
make your
have mattered.
decision, he's like, as soon as you make that decision, it's gonna have a domino effect. It's gonna make a decision that I now have to make. That's gonna affect it.
Like, this dude gave you the keys to
So
the king. He's
goofy.
like, I have the
So
keys for
goofy.
you. It's for, like, I'm going to give it to you. Don't do that thing, otherwise I can't give it to you.
Yeah,
He
Like,
did
this
it
man
anyway.
laid it
He did
out.
it anyway.
He was setting your future, and then once it was yours, you could do whatever you want.
yeah.
You
That's
know, if he
I, I lost all respect for him in this episode.
You know, if he hadn't shown up, and we saw what happened with the bait, the Titan bait, she probably would have been fine. He didn't need to be there.
He didn't need to be there because she
He
would have
didn't need to be there. He wanted to be there. He wanted to cop that kiss.
Like, he accomplished nothing being there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his presence added nothing. He was needed in Washington, and that's why she was pissed at him. And like, that's the moment she realized, I can't trust you to do the job.
She was like,
you're gonna let your feelings get in the way.
She was like, you just came here to look at me.
Yeah. Yes.
He was basically.
I can't believe you.
That was dumb.
Get our money. Get our money. That's what you were supposed to do. Get our money.
We agreed. We talked about it yesterday. We agreed. What are you doing?
No, like when was that? Bill was like, when was that? Oh, that was today, wasn't it? He was like, yeah, it was.
I'd push him in the water. Be like, get out of here.
Like, Bill respected her as a scientist, and Shaw was just attracted to her, and that is a difference, and that is why Bill has my vote. I am now on. I know episode 1 I wasn't really feeling Bill, but I am now on Team Bill because he respects her as a woman and as a scientist. And a scientist first, then a woman, and Shaw just likes her. And that's
Keiko was basically telling him not to simp, because he says I don't care, and she's like, yes, you do, and if we have to forego our feelings to do what we need to do. That's just the bottom line.
She about that life. I love her. I respect her. She's one of my favorite characters.
Also, like, if you're gonna like me, no, you need to care about this. Like, you don't get to like me and be stupid about it. Like, you can't be like, oh, I miss you on a day where we have a budget call. Like, get the money.
The money's in the budget call. Go get it.
So
the man was handing you a platter of dollars, and you left.
Yeah. So they find out weirdly that the Titan phone works when they notice that it's gone silent, and then Godzilla basically spits it out of the water back at them.
Get that out of here.
And like, and then they flash forward again after that to the desert, and the kids and Shaw roll up on Pops, and this is the funniest scene to me, where Pops is waving them away like, get out of here.
Yeah.
They're waving. They're all happy. They're supposed to give them monumental speech.
I'm like, you
hey.
And he's like, what you doing here? Get the hell away from me. Go.
Was a rolling stone.
Yeah.
He kept rolling away. I would not be surprised if he did not have a third wife and a baby.
Oh my God.
That would be hilarious.
That'd be
Oh my God. More kids.
Third family.
More kids.
Like, he didn't even drive back after everything happened.
He kept going.
He broke
out
out
of here.
He hopped in the truck, pulled up stakes, and then boned out.
Your kids found you.
All he's here to do is make babies and find Godzilla, and that's it. That's it.
That's it.
I was expecting him to like drive back.
So what do y'all think is his goal besides following Godzilla? Because like, I feel like, do y'all think he's trying to like guide Godzilla around the world to like a certain destination? Like,
I have no idea.
You found him.
Yeah, you found him. I don't know.
I mean, you found him.
That was crazy. We didn't talk about that because
he
he rolls out and they're trying to figure out why he's rolling out, and then of course Tim in the helicopter shows up. To my, hey, there
hilarious.
They are, right there. And then we find out our boy Godzilla has been just taking a mud bath the whole time. They were walking across his back, basically, right there. My boy gets up, knocks the helicopter, and then I don't know if y'all seen the meme with James Harden, the basketball player, when he rolls his eyes and walks away from the camera.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's basically what Godzilla did. He screamed on him. And then he turned into James Harden and walked away.
He just disappeared into nothing.
I think the dad's motives, at least for chasing Godzilla, I think because he doesn't actually work with Monarch, right?
No, they booted him.
Rogue.
Right. I think his motive is to find out what Godzilla's motives are, obviously we know he's tracking Godzilla, like trying to find out Godzilla's patterns and stuff. But I think he's trying to figure out which Kong, just like why he's
Why Godzilla be
Yeah,
doing
understanding
why Godzilla
understanding
be
creatures' kind of behaviors.
why he be wanting to stomp out cities and stuff. Like why is he want to
Then why be taking naps in the dirt now?
Yeah,
Why
that
he
was-
taking naps in dry Algeria? Like I don't
Right.
understand.
He's
I want to
basically
know why he does this. He does this in every. I feel like he'd be taking naps
Because
in
he don't
all
want
the
to be bothered.
movies. Be
he
like,
got
sleepy.
charged, but
like,
then he
think
tried to go to sleep, but then the people keep finding him, and that's
And
why he
waking back
rolled his
up.
eyes. And when he popped out from the door, he said, "Ugh, I'm just trying to go to bed."
He did kind of lay there, giving them like a little side eye. When his eye first
Right.
popped open, he looked over like, oh.
what do
Like,
y'all want?
man, you guys
from
keep
me?"
bothering me.
Like
Trying to
Godzilla
nap.
is not the attacker. Like in the first Godzilla, well, in this whole trilogy session, this movie he came out to stop the other Mutos, so the other Titans. So like Godzilla truly is just like, look, I know I'm the king, but I'm also tired. Like,
I
you know how
gotta
much
nap.
food it takes for me to eat to stay like this? I'm not trying to kill the world. Let me just like sleep and hibernate until I'm
fine
needed
with
again. Why do y'all keep
And-
waking me up?
Yeah, he was doing a lot of work, and he was putting in a lot of work in that movie. He was fighting
He sure was.
those two Mutos at the same
He
time.
did a lot of
Yeah.
stomping and stuff.
And and that was something I was trying to reflect, like kind of like recall like the timeline of things. Like, oh, this is post fight scene. This man really needed a nap because he went hard and they were stomping him out. He was getting jumped a couple times.
Yeah.
No.
But I was happy to see him. I was very happy to see him. Like finally, watch some dumb soldiers die in a helicopter crash. Like yes,
Yeah, that was
humans.
wild. They blow, of
people.
course, Shaw and them blow up on each other, and the kids decide they're going to leave and go their own way. May kind of confesses that she ratted them out, and then they storm off to the airport. And then we flash back again when Shaw, Keiko, and Bill Randa are arguing, basically trying to get their story straight of what they're going to tell them when they get back to find out that the military is now taking over Monarch's office, and this naval officer now. So I want to.
The one who told her that she was a Japanese woman and had to be checked. He's the one in charge.
Yeah, he wanted to be in charge, and so they basically Shaw messed up because she at the end before that scene, and she turns to Shaw and goes, "What have you done?
Mhm.
Like you done messed up." And then then they end with May confessing, basically, and then we go to the next episode 7, and we finally get the backstory, the full backstory on May. The title of episode 7 is "Will the Real May Please Stand Up?" A riff on Eminem, which is kind of funny. And of course, dumbass Tim survived. He comes bubbling out the sand.
He looked like Godzilla. I was like, yo, what's up with the parallel?
I was like, there's no way. He said. Also, before we dive too deep into this episode, I have to say, when they got attacked in the desert the first time, that dune buggy that was flipping
over, yeah.
Oh, that should have hit.
I was like, hey, y'all should have lived. It was coming right at y'all.
Because there was no windows. So
was it me or was that thing
it.
flipping? It flipped over them like 3-4 times. It seemed like the same little dune buggy kept. I saw Ken duck it. I saw Shaw duck it.
They were constantly ducking it. I don't understand how it was operable after all that. I was
Yamaha's like, we got.
That's how Yamaha go.
I just feel like they be writing in these stunts talking about some whoa, and then we somehow survived it. Oh my god, let's go, guys.
So
they really are the Scooby Doo. I feel like they're like kind of this weird, great value version of Scooby Doo. Like they're kind of they're useless, and they're just like, we're gonna keep going on this adventure. I'm like, well, y'all can't do anything. Y'all just sticking this out like we are as audience members. It's kind of weird, actually.
We actually know more than you guys,
Exactly.
and we're telling you, you're going the wrong way. You should have went left. You went right.
What is that again? Is that dramatic or situational? Which irony is that? Come on, writer.
We got a comment from Brian Barner who says, even though Godzilla is the king of the monsters, do you think he's also the gatekeeper for the surface? Whenever a monster travels through the wormhole thing, do you think he regulates who comes through and who doesn't to ensure they recognize his role and the king of the monsters, or regulates the safety of the surface? I think that's part of it.
What a great question.
It is. I would subscribe to that
Yeah.
that theory if that's actually what Godzilla did. Like he's that kind of gatekeeper, because I mean, as we saw in the movies, it was 29. Was it 2019 one?
The 2019 one.
He fought
and
all the monsters.
21.
He fought them all.
Yeah.
He
He
most
fought them off,
definitely-
and he had like little teams that pop. So yeah, I think that is part of it. Which obviously us as the kind of our roles are reversed. You know, we're the bugs in that instance, but Godzilla kind of has that role of protector. And when they kind of step out of bounds, if you noticed in the 2014 Godzilla with the two Muto, he didn't kill the female. You know,
What do you? Yes, he.
No, he killed the male. Remember, he opens up and does a little atomic breath through the thing, but the female he let go.
Oh, the male was the smaller one that he tail smacked him into the building and he died.
Yeah.
Unless no, he came. Didn't he? Wait a second. No, that Muto came back. I remember seeing the Muto later. So yes, that one survived, but he most definitely ripped off the mom's head.
Yeah, I'm saying he only killed one of them.
Yeah, he did. He did. I remember that one came back because they showed
let him know, like, look, y'all ain't gonna be doing this.
I'm sending messages out here.
You know what this reminds me of? I don't know if you guys saw the Powerpuff Girls or not, but there's an episode.
The classic TV show.
Yeah. I don't. There's an episode of the Powerpuff Girls where like the monsters are talking about how they go. They go.
They make their bones by attacking.
Right. They go from Monster Island to Townsville to fight the Powerpuff Girls, and it's like a badge of honor if you come back like alive.
Yeah. And like they had like stopped fighting. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna discuss that offline.
Yes, but that reminds me of your comment, Brian, where the Powerpuff Girls serve as the gatekeeper kind of in this instance.
Awesome.
Like,
So
beat me
Godzilla's
up.
the Powerpuff Girl.
I get that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
absolutely.
Powerpuff Girls go hard. What you talking
They're
about?
goated. Absolutely.
The goats.
So yeah, we get in the beginning of that episode, they go to the airport, and I think it's kind of hilarious when Tim walks into the airport.
Yeah.
Oh, dusty. He just wants some water. He's like, look.
He said, "Let's not
had a rough day. Get out my face right now. I'm drinking some water."
I'm not fooling with you.
Yo, Kate wanted. Kate slapped. Didn't Kate slap him?
She like threw her mace bag at him or something like that.
Ready to go.
Or something.
But let's be honest, it is very believable to believe they took her. So like she was not off base. Like we know she was, but in her mind, you tried to kidnap me by myself. You did take us off the streets. You held us like in these little things. You've been following us. You just showed up here. Why would I not think you took May?
Yeah. They have to have their little meeting, and he's explaining. I think that was the most tertiary information that he gives them to kind of reel them in with the pencil shavings thing. And that's all it took for them to like garner their truth. Like, oh, he knows about the pencil shavings too. He must have known Dad. I'm like, come on, man. Like,
Dad was the greatest. Dad motivated me and inspired me.
I'm so sick of these pencil shavings. Lord.
They have to be
was a fan of him. Tim
and
loved the
they're
pencil
not, and
shavings.
it's showing. May was the only reason they survived, and it's definitely showing.
And then they come up with this plan that they're gonna go stalk. Once he's trying to convince Tim that they need to go get May back, they go and stalk her family in Seattle and show up. Little sis is not having it. She's like, "You know my sister Hal."
That was also so crazy of them to show up at her house.
Oh yeah, we didn't know she was home. We just thought so we just popped up.
We're going to a manga convention.
Like really?
With no convention in sight.
There's no con happening this weekend. You lied. She knew. And then start rattling off shoujo and different types of anime. I was like, y'all wilding.
Yeah.
Bro, he was really trying to sell it. Tim was trying to sell it.
Then they flash back to 2012 Seattle. Excuse me, that's probably Tacoma where the family is. It's Seattle, we see when May meets the CEO or whatever of AIT, which I don't remember her name. I just know her as Naomi because I watched The Expanse.
Expanse, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Expanse, yes.
So yeah.
But I think her name is Holland.
Holland, okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
Only because when she got the text messages, Holland was like, "I know it was you," and so I think it was you.
Yeah, we find out that she was working for her, and we see her getting wooed occupationally, to try and get her. After the second bottle of wine, you're gonna come with the super pitch and try and reel me in with this offer and make it, offer me the money and say how great I am, how brilliant I am, and all these things.
What a badass to know that you like to be able to predict when a repeated offer is going to come your way.
Yeah.
After 2 whole bottles of wine with a potential employee, like.
And after the second one, like you got it down to, we're at the end of that second bottle. We have an offer coming in 3, 2.
That's 4 glasses of wine per person.
It's a lot.
You get 4 glasses out of a bottle, and so that is 2. That's 4 glasses of wine per person.
I'm like, this lady like you. Like, I'm like, if you don't go work for this lady,
no,
like, both you, like 4 glasses of wine, you're drunk. You're both drunk, and this has happened more than once. Go work for this lady.
Well, no, she didn't say it happened with her more than once. It happened with like multiple companies. That's how all the companies have tried to woo her. So whenever they brought her out to dinner, that's what they've tried to do. So she knows.
Said, so this isn't your first rodeo.
Yeah. So like the other companies have tried to woo her the same exact way, and there's just like she's like, but this is the best meal I've gotten so far. I'm gonna be super honest. I'm gonna say it was because the recruiter is black is why they got her. I'm gonna be 100%. I'm like going to like stake partial name on the fact that all the other recruiters were not black women, and the fact that it was, and could sort of understand where May sort of who she was as a person growing up, quote unquote. I feel like that's the only reason May went with that company.
Yeah,
I agree. It was also nice to see that kind of representation when you kind of have like 2 black women in tech. And you can tell that her guard was kind of dropped. And also she had 2 bottles of wine, which is kind of crazy. I don't think that would normally happen. I'm sure as a black woman in a corporate environment,
like, and especially
you gotta be
red
on
wine.
guard.
There's no way you drink 4 glasses of red wine and a full meal. It's one or the other. You cannot do both. In this, for a woman of her size, you cannot. Your stomach is only so big. Red wine really fills you up. Like you cannot do both.
She should have been tore up on the floor.
Because you would have got an appetizer, you would have had bread, you would have made them pay for an expensive meal. Like it had to be steak if you're doing red wine, because that lady was too fancy to get the wrong type of wine to go with your meal. So that's a lot of wine and food at the same time. Nah.
Hilarious. Andrea's using her wine experience to break the episode down.
I'm using my culinary degree and my wine knowledge.
Listen, I'm listening. I didn't know it was that serious, but it is now. Thank you.
I mean, I feel like if you are making like that amount of money in tech and you're wooing client, potential employees and stuff, I agree with you. I feel like you would know what wine pairs with what foods at what restaurants and who's serving what, and it's not a game. They said I date my employees like I date my people. Okay, I treat them right.
And you know what we do? If someone else is paying for the steak, we get in the steak. Like,
yes,
we're getting that big old cut.
Gonna get that ribeye,
perfect.
That poorhouse.
Yes.
Yep.
Medium rare. Keep it going.
That's right.
Yeah. So we find out that she ends up working for this tech company, and not. I think she wants to get in the back door of what's going on in the real, because she's impatient. May has been impatient with Holland. Like, when are you gonna let me know what's really going on? What am I writing this code for? You need to open up a little. I didn't sit here to just be at a desk the whole time. Let me know some things. And she's like, you're being impatient and the information you're asking for is above your pay grade. So she does her thing and snoops, hacks into the system, finds some way to get into this like basement door with her, and finds her doing these crazy experiments on these monkeys and cybernetics. And she erases the data and disappears. And we find out that these are the people that May has been running from, and why she left to Japan and has been in hiding. She got a bunch of money saved up when she told the kids. So it's cool to kind of get this backstory and get why and what she was doing.
What were the experiments? I mean, I saw the monkeys, but like, what were they testing?
They had like some machine thing hooked up to its brain.
Brain waves, probably.
Yeah.
Brain patterns. We're gonna find out when we get to the episode. It's all gonna make sense. I was like,
yeah. But I was just looking. I was like, I mean, I don't know why this is bad yet. So I just like I saw her face, I saw her reaction. She felt like it was bad. So I was like,
Because it looked like they was torturing monkeys. That's why
Yeah, they
she's
was. They
okay,
had some things snapped to their head. They was probably like shaving their heads off, hair off, and
fair
putting
enough.
these
I
little
guess
things
from the
in,
video, I
trying to
wasn't
do mind control.
fair enough. I just from what it looked like to me, I wasn't sure if they were being tortured or not. Like
Yeah.
I thought I
Oh,
was
so
like,
I feel like they're being tortured.
Yeah, it was kind of
Ain't no way that monkey enjoying that. They're not getting a
fair enough.
banana and like putting a rock through a window. Like,
Fair
no.
enough. Yeah. If they were enjoying it, they'd make it like the show should make it explicitly clear that these monkeys are enjoying this. If
Yeah.
that's what they were meaning to.
It didn't look like it was having fun. It was
It
screaming and
wasn't
banging.
Guardians of Galaxy rough, but it's still.
Yeah.
And it
So-
wasn't as light as a Planet of the Apes, where like the monkeys were just getting injected with serum, which still does not seem well. But like they were just doing like smart puzzles and stuff like that. It wasn't like that either. So
Gotcha.
And this is where we
I
see
repent.
this is where we see Kentaro flip flop again, because now he's in there with his sister looking for May, and now he wants to push away the help. I'm like, make up your mind. Kate has a weird sense of entitlement. Like, if May wanted to disappear, let May disappear. She's been honest with you. She doesn't owe you anything. And she's like, well, if she wants to tell us to eat S and die, then she needs to do so to her face. Like, she don't owe you that. Like, just let it go. But obviously, she can't.
Kate
She's operating like a
she's her
superhero
father's
right
daughter.
She's very self-righteous.
I mean,
like,
they're both
you gotta
like
solve
that,
the
though.
mystery, y'all. I mean,
Her-
yeah, I get it. That's why I'm not
Yeah.
mad at her.
Her and Ken are both like that at different points. Like both of them are weirdly stubborn, when they want to be. So
I feel like Ken though actually has true actual feelings for May.
Yeah.
And I think Kate just trauma bonded with her because
Mm.
of the panic attack. I feel like Ken,
that
like
makes
with the way Ken was
Mhm.
looking at the photos of May before he knew her, like I truly think he really does care about her. He just doesn't know how to handle it correctly.
Yeah.
And Kate is just like, oh, this girl was my light through a panic attack. And then like, let me grab your hand. Like you've never held her hand before this. Even when her leg was busted from the hypothermia, you
Oh.
weren't holding her hand like this. You weren't dragging her behind you. You weren't like May.
She did in the helicopter though.
yeah,
They
Was
held
she-
hands.
when they got rescued from the Arctic.
But no, but even to the point of like how when they were walking in Algeria, she went and grabbed May's hand, so they were walking holding hands. It's like, no, you never did that before.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You're right on that.
Like
Really
you're
forcing this
trauma
friendship,
bonding.
y'all.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a I'm here for you as a friend. It's a oh hi, let me hold your hand. And I peeped that. I was like, why are you holding her hand?
I
Let her
just
hand go.
I
Let
know
her go.
I know we'll get to this part, but I just feel like this is
I'm on Team
very
Ken.
This is very funny how this is
I'm Team Ken
evolving.
because Kate has proven she doesn't know how to have a relationship. So I'm Team Ken.
Good
But,
discussion.
but this is like, we can talk about this, but that's later. We'll get to it. But it's very funny why we'll get to it. When we get to it, I'll say my opinion. Go
Okay.
ahead, get to it.
We have Shaw and Duvall take over Outpost 88. And I think it's like an inside joke. It's almost like calling 911 when you call Monarch, everybody has to hold, even if it's like an emergency.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I'll hold. Like, there's a monster coming. Yes, I'll hold. Somebody's been kidnapped. Yes, I'll hold. Every time like someone calls Monarch, they have to hold before anybody will talk to them. And the kids, again, are way too trusting with Tim. They set up this plan to go rescue May from the AIT building by basically pulling a Godzilla fire alarm.
That was an
And
insane thing to do, man.
That was wild. You caused panic and chaos. That
For
should
a
be
whole city.
that should be like a felony. Like
To get one girl,
Tim need to go to jail for that one.
yeah,
literally. Like
so they go into the building with help from Monarch, and now like they're all entangled because Holland threatens to like you're going, and now like they kind of trying to flip May to be like a triple agent, like you're Monarch's former spy on the kids. Now the AIT ladies want you to spy for her, or she's going to reveal the information on you and decides she's going to just stay with her and basically work off messing up the millions of dollars worth of research she closed. And then later on, Monarch comes in and basically alleviates her from that. So basically, everybody's having to work together. And I don't know if you picked up on this. Go ahead.
I'll finish the statement.
This is where Apex starts.
Yeah, they made it clear. They even showed the logo change.
So, go ahead.
So I was gonna say, but May decided not to spy though. She was not going to be a triple agent because she like was very rude to Kate and all of them. She was like, "Get out!" And then she went back to Holland's office. She was like, "I'm not going to be a triple agent." So my prediction that May is a good one wins. She's no longer a spy from last.
I
mean, she's still trying to preserve herself, but now she's just entangled in this weird dumb journey.
I still pushed him away. Because she was given a free slate before Monarch came in. She could have walked away with Kate and them and been a triple agent or been another spy, but she pushed them away and then went back to Holland's office. Was like ready to like face up to her fears, not her repercussions. And then Monarch stepped in because Tim was like, "Look."
Yeah. But she's still kind of beholden to both of them because when she showed up afterwards outside of the SUV, talking about where are we going? And Kate and Kim's like, what do you mean? Where are we going? You said
I'm like, ma'am.
I don't trust Holland not to still keep the threat of revealing that information about what she did and pursuing it, even though they have a tentative deal with Monarch. I don't trust Holland to keep friend of the bargain.
Holland. She does not care for the sisters.
Yes, I don't trust Holland, and
we should. I mean, our boss is William. We know what happened to him.
Yeah, and May is still preservation above all. So I think in the end, she's only on Team May.
She got to go home. She got to hug her sister, her mom, her
cool.
sister, her brother, her father.
That was great.
That was emotional. I teared up a little.
Yeah. And then we see Deputy Director Verdugo, because Tim advises we have to come out of the dark. We can't be in the shadows if we're going to help and do this. So they announced their presence. So they're no longer a secret in the world and what they've been doing. And I have a note here that says, what the hell is Shaw up to? I think he is. You think he's trying to blow up the wormholes to keep them from coming in, like Brian asked about earlier, to keep them from even coming out of the Hollow World?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I feel like I'm with that one.
That scene. Only reason I remember this is because I just ended up watching
the first episode,
the Godzilla movies over the weekend or whatever. And then the Godzilla Gods versus Monsters, not the latest one that came out, but the one before they brought Kong back in.
Yeah, King of Monsters.
When they go to Hollow Earth, the crater that Shaw left looks like the crater that they used to go to Hollow Earth. And that's the only reason I remember because I just saw it like a day or two ago. And it was like he is trying to like stop them from being able to get to Hollow Earth, but he actually now inadvertently made it easier for them to go there because the crater that he left looks like the crater from the movie.
Okay.
So check it out.
Now I gotta watch. Now I gotta rewatch.
It's at the very end. Well, not the very end. It's the one where. No, it is the one with Kong. Sorry, it is.
Yeah.
So it's the first one.
Because he takes the Hollow Earth. So it's the last. It is the most recent.
The last movie. Yeah. All right, I gotta look.
Whenever they're taking him to Hollow Earth, that crater that they're in looks like the one Shaw created by accident.
And it was in Alaska.
You talking about you talking about Godzilla vs Kong, right?
Yeah, if it's in Alaska, then that's a game changer. That's it.
That crater. I mean, I could be wrong, but the way the crater looked at the very end, I was like, wait, that looks like the crater that they used to get to Hollow Earth. Like he just built it out for them by accident, like trying to help, trying to destroy it, trying to help Godzilla to stop other Titans from coming, and you just made a doorway instead.
Yeah,
great job.
So now we got that. It looks like it's shut, but we know it's not shut. And we got the crew all together in one group now, no longer separated, except for obviously Shaw because he's off with Duvall doing their thing. And we still now don't know. We at least know that Hiroshi is alive, but he's running around somewhere.
Avoiding child support.
Yeah, well, exactly. Avoiding 2 sets of child support.
I don't care about my kids or my family no more. Godzilla all day. He's a deadbeat. He's the king of deadbeats. Godzilla.
How do you become a deadbeat after they become an adult? Like, what are we?
I think that's so funny. He saw them. He said, "Go away," and then ran.
I ain't got no money.
I don't got no money for you. I don't got no money or love for you. Get out of here.
I'm dead. There's a reason I didn't come back. Okay.
Yeah.
I went out and got milk, and I'm not coming back. Leave me alone.
Everything I had went into this new device. I got the updated version of it. That's it. Sorry.
He said, "You all are grown. Why are you here?"
I did my job. You're adults. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
But I have to say, the scene when they're in the SUV and Kate's like all up on May, like that's a normal way to be sitting. Because again, why is that's not a normal way to be
I have to
sitting?
talk about
Are
this.
they trying
I
to
have to
ship
talk
those
about this.
characters
And
now? That's what
Ken's
I'm starting
face,
to feel it.
you see it, and he
It's
looks
so
at it. He's not
funny.
happy, but he
It's
looks
so
out into the window, and he almost gets like this like whatever type look, like
Yes.
I'll let
Yeah.
it go.
It's so
But
funny.
like Kate,
We have to talk about this.
seriously,
I have to talk about this because
seriously,
all right. So Kate, she's wrapping her arms around May, and they grab her hands and stuff. And Ken's looking, he's like, okie dokie, you know what I'm saying? and, but it cracks me up because, like, all right, like I feel like I think what you're saying about the trauma bond is valid, but I think the reason why Kate is so attracted to May is because like May is a type to pull away and then come back and
Toxic.
yeah, just toxic and
She's avoidant.
toxic, yeah,
May's emotionally avoidant.
right. Just an avoidant
Oh my
person, toxic
goodness.
energy, just
Oh
the
my
type that she's matching her energy.
Like, oh, I don't know, gets me.
Yeah.
You can
So,
actually heal me.
She's like,
I-
you can't leave, you can't die. I'm coming,
So I get what you're saying, and I 100% agree with how May has been acting in that sense up until this episode. Because up until this episode, May had to be like she couldn't get close to people because of her secret. And like while she's like sitting in that car and like Kate's like all rubbed up against her and May just like is holding her arm like this, May's looking out the window. She's not like looking up serenely at her, like matching her gaze. Like she's focused on what's to come. Kate's focused on her, and Ken is just like
she wants
sort of
who's not even gonna be there. That's the thing. Kate cannot handle a steady person who is like present for Kate at all
yes.
times. She wants a presence who really isn't really here for real, She wants an
But
idea.
what I'm saying though is I'm agreeing with you, but I'm saying May no longer be that person
Oh
who's
yeah, that
pulling
she
away.
might be like present and
Because
that
like her
it might
flashback
be
self was very much open and like family oriented and open person, but like seemed like a more open person. So
right.
no, I'm agreeing with what you're saying. I'm saying, but it looks like
That
she's no longer going to be that
dynamic.
person moving forward.
I understand. Okay.
I guess we'll see once if Kate realizes the change has occurred and you not being the unavailable person like I am and what I need. I wonder if she'll rebuff it like, oh,
I
that's not
wonder
what I
if
wanted.
Ken is gonna
A
call it
healthy
out.
relationship.
I don't want this.
My father didn't teach me this.
I really wonder if Ken is gonna call it out. Like I really feel like
Oh, that's gonna be
Oh,
great.
he is.
I feel like
looking
the
forward
way
to
that
that.
these past 2 episodes have gone, I feel like we're gonna see at some point, either in episode 8 or 9, where there's gonna be just moments where like Kate is gonna want to just be, get closer to May, and she's gonna be all up on her, and Ken is just gonna be like it's gonna be a pan to Ken's face, and he's just gonna be like looking at him, and just like,
So
and
But
he's gonna have to call. He's gonna have to say something like, "What are you doing?"
May needs to say something. Like, I've been with your brother. So
Yeah.
you need to back off.
Yeah.
Y'all got issues. Y'all got daddy issues. Man, I don't got time for
For real, literally.
that.
because like out of the like I said earlier, I think Ken actually has true honest to God feelings for May or
Yeah.
Cora, whichever name we're gonna call her, because now we know what her real name was.
Oh, right.
But like, has May given any type of hint, or maybe am I just blind that she's attracted to Kate? Because I feel like May hasn't given any
So
like
I think
hint that she is more
I-
like.
I think that no, we've not been given any kind of hint that like Core May has been, that
Okay.
Sorry, that was great. Sorry.
we've not been given any kind of hint that Core May is into Kate in that way. But she's just like I think Kate is the one driving the boat here with I want you energy. But it's like been a slow build for Kate and Kate only. And so
I need to stay that way because
yeah.
siblings should not
Cora
dip
May
in the
needs to
same
pump the
pool.
brakes. That's what needs to happen.
Siblings should not dip
Cora
in the
May should
same
have been
pool.
out of it.
No.
Cora May should have been abandoned this brother and sister. That should have been happening.
She's been trying.
I think I would like
Trying to go. She's been trying to leave.
Oh my God, the comment.
Oh, I hope
No,
not. Brian, we hope not.
no,
What the-
no. What is that
They're
movie
not
with
gonna
the-
do it.
This is not
They're
an
not
anime.
gonna do
This
it.
is not an anime.
No,
They're not gonna do it.
siblings should never dip in the same pool.
I'm mad.
Okay,
We just talked about this.
like
Y'all.
no.
I
And
hope.
then
I hope.
two, Ken and May have actual feelings for each other that have like a history that both of them are running from something when they first met. The things they were running from were sort of finished, relegated, come to terms with, brought out into the open. Ken didn't feel like he could talk about his father and all that stuff. May didn't feel like she could talk about the fact that she was a fugitive and could never have a real life with him and travel like basically anywhere outside of Japan. So it was like all of those things that were hindering their relationship, that were causing them issues, has been brought to the light and addressed.
Yeah.
They could actually have a relationship. They actually like each other.
Yeah.
Kate is just being a thought right now because you had a girlfriend, you had another girlfriend, and now you're trying to push away someone. Now you're trying to jump into bed with someone else, but you won't let your mom jump into bed with someone. What you talking about, Kate? What you talking about? Okay,
Kate be
you
on
need
some
help.
other
Get some
time.
therapy.
She just be on some other kind of time, man. And
Amazing.
I don't know. I feel like Cora May should fight both of them.
Cora May. Beat them
Cora
up.
May.
Two-piece them.
Yeah,
Combo
May.
breakers.
you should fight both of them.
Man.
Like,
We'll
both
write a
y'all
book
get out of
Y'all
here.
really
Name-
stupid.
The character
Hell.
name is gonna be Cora May, and you guys are gonna get why.
That's hilarious. Well, thank you guys again for chopping it up with me about these things. Brian Bonner, thank you for commenting and checking out the stream. Next week, I think we're going to try. Well, the next time that we come back, because I think episode 8 is already out, and this Friday, episode 9 will be out. So we'll be discussing both episodes 8 and 9 next week, and then I think we only have one more episode after that. Eskimo siblings. What do you say?
You're in timeout, young lady.
Oh no. Hilarious.
Don't figure it out, Jordan. Just don't figure it out.
We'll talk about
You're
all
in
mine.
timeout.
You never
baby.
watched The League?
What?
The League.
Oh, that show. I didn't watch enough of it to even get that now. Just
Okay,
keep it moving.
okay. Well,
Finish the
we'll
spiel.
talk. We'll
Finish
talk
the-
off stream.
Finish the spiel.
Appreciate you all taking the time out of your day to chop it up with me about these things. Next week we'll be talking episodes 8 and 9. Again, there will be a link in the description for all of our websites to check out our creative endeavors on Spotify for podcasters. The name of the podcast is the Askari Cast. We will talk to you all next week. Peace. She's still explaining.